Good morning, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. My name is Priyanka Das and welcome to today's segment of Quick Morning, where we delve into the latest news and updates from around the country and across the world to set the tone for your day. From tracking the unrest in Manipur to the MEA clarifying allegations leveled by the American media. Stay tuned as Republic TV brings you the ground realities of these developments, but that's not all. We'll also be bringing you the latest updates from the realms of business, sports and entertainment in our jam-packed lineup for this morning. So let's kickstart today's mega news day here on Republic, as always with the nation first this quick morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate a 6-day-long Grameen Bharat Mahotsav 2025 at the Bharat Mandapam. He will also address the gathering on the occasion. The Mahotsav aims to celebrate rural India's entrepreneurial spirit and cultural heritage. The theme of the Mahotsav is Building a Resilient Rural India for Viksit Bharat 2047. It also aims to enhance the rural infrastructure, create self-reliant economies and foster innovation within rural communities. Its objectives include promoting economic stability and financial security among rural populations. A tense situation unfolded in Manipur's Kangkok-P district when protesters stormed into the government offices. The protesters have been demanding the maintenance of buffer zone and the withdrawal of Manipur police commandos. The protesters even sealed the district commission office. The situation took a violent turn when stones and alleged petrol bombs were hurled at the government office. To control the situation, police resorted to blank firing. Unfortunately, a few civilians were injured in the chaos and rushed to the hospital for treatment. Videos that were accessed by Republic TV show suspected SOO group cadres openly firing automatic rifles among the protesting crowd. This has further raised concerns about the presence of armed groups even in the protest. Even some security forces were injured in this clash. India has launched a protest with China over the announcement of 2 new counties in China's Hotan prefecture, which are parts of Ladakh. MEA spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal strongly condemned China's move and said that India never accepted Chinese illegal occupation in Indian territory. In a strongly worded statement, India has dismissed recent reports from American media outlets alleging its involvement in a failed impeachment plot in Maldives and covert operations in Pakistan. Refuting both the reports, MEA spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal said that the news outlet and reporter in question appear to nurse a compulsive hostility towards India. Washington Post alleged that India was involved in a plot to impeach the Maldivian president, citing a document titled Democratic Renewal Initiative, claiming that the opposition politicians proposed bribing 40 members of parliament, which included leaders of Muizzu's own party, to vote to impeach him.
These are articles that you referred were published by Washington Post, one on Maldives and the other one in relation to Pakistan. So to that, I would say that both the newspaper and the reporter in question appear to nurse a compulsive hostility towards India. You can see a pattern in their activities. I leave you to judge their credibility. As far as we are concerned, they have none.
Protests rocked Madhya Pradesh's Pithampur over the planned disposal of 337 tons of toxic waste from the Bhopal-Gas strategy. The protest took a violent turn with 2 men attempting self-immolation, but was saved by fellow protesters and police. Now, prohibitory orders under Section 163 of Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhit banning gathering of 50 or more people have been imposed around the Ramki Environment Company, where the toxic will be incinerated. The orders will remain effective until January 12th. The protest stemmed from concerns about the safety and environmental implications of relocating hazardous materials to the township. Several shops and markets remain shut as per a call given by the Pithampur Bachao Samiti. Protesters also say that this incineration would harm local residents and the environment.
सब अपनी जनता है, सब अपने युवा हैं। हमारा कर्तव्य है कि हम उन तक पूरी बात को पहुंचाएं और जो उनके मन के जो डाउट्स हैं उसका निराकरण करें। अगर किसी को लगता है कि उसको अभिव्यक्ति करने का ये तरीका है तो उन्होंने अभिव्यक्ति की है, बट हमारी बात से वो कन्विंस हुए और वो उन्होंने अपना अनशन तोड़ा। हमें लगता है कि इसी संवाद के तरीके से इस व्यवस्था का पूरा, इस समस्या का पूरा हम निराकरण कर पाए।
National Center for Disease Control is closely monitoring the human metapneumovirus outbreak in China. Director General of Health Services said that the HMPV is like any other respiratory virus which causes common cold. He has asked Indians not to panic and advised the public to take general precautions that are used to prevent respiratory infections. The NCDC is also in contact with the international agencies as the spread of new respiratory disease in China has raised fears of another COVID-like situation across the world.
Let me be very clear on that count. Metapneumovirus is like any other respiratory virus which causes a common cold. And in the very old and the very young, it could cause flu-like symptoms. However, we have analyzed the data of the respiratory outbreaks within the country. There is no substantial increase in December 2024 data, and no cases which have been reported in large numbers from any of our institutions.
Moving on, BJP in Karnataka will stage a protest today, demanding resignation of Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge over the alleged suicide of Bidar contractor Sachin Panchal. The protest will be held in Minister's home district in Kalaburgi. Speaking on the matter, the Karnataka minister said that he welcomes them and the action taken will depend on how the protesters behave. Meanwhile, other Karnataka ministers have criticized BJP's action, stating that the BJP has failed as an opposition in the state. BJP further alleged that contractors have been facing difficulties under the Congress government in the state. It claimed that financial troubles and stress are driving contractors to die by suicide. This came in the wake of controversy surrounding the alleged suicide of a contractor named Sachin due to alleged harassment and threats from Minister Priyank Kharge's close aide Raju Kapanu, as claimed by the BJP. However, Priyank Kharge dismissed all the allegations surrounding the issue.
कंप्लेंट एफआईआर दर्ज करने के बाद भी अभी तक भी 9 जन बाहर फिर रहे सर। फिर भी पुलिस वाले हमें ही क्या कर रहे, टारगेट करके क्वेश्चन के ऊपर क्वेश्चन रिमार्क डाल रहे हमारे भाई के ऊपर। ये सब नेसेसरी नहीं है समझती हूँ मैं। जो डेथ नोट को लिखे वो सामने नहीं है तो वो डेथ नोट में कौन पर्सन है उसको तो क्या कस्टडी में लेकर क्या करना था, पूछताछ तो एटलीस्ट करना था।
The suicide of a Dalit girl due to harassment by college authorities over unpaid fees has sparked outrage among people. The chairperson of Haryana Commission for Women visited the college and spoke to the principal, owner and students. She found discrepancies in their claims and suspected that the college fees waiver in July 2024 might have been an election campaign tactic. Bhatia emphasized the need for a senior-level committee to investigate the case. The committee will also seek the transfer of the case to the state crime branch.
कि आज सरकार ने बेटियों के लिए इतनी स्कीम्स निकाली हैं, लोन्स की सुविधाएं हैं, कहाँ शिक्षित होना चाहती हैं वहाँ भेजने की सुविधाएं हैं, फिर एक बेटी ने ऐसा क्यों किया, ये बहुत सोचने का विषय था। प्रिंसिपल से बातचीत हुई, फिर स्कूल के ओनर से जो यहाँ का विधायक बताया जाता है राजवीर, उससे बातचीत हुई। मुझे दोनों की बात में कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सा दिखा।
A Chhattisgarh-based journalist Mukesh Chandrakar was found dead in a septic tank on a local contractor's property in Bijapur district. The journalist went missing on the evening of January 1st and his elder brother lodged complaint with the police the very next day. The police tracked Mukesh's mobile phone and reached the property of the local contractor where his body was found. A murder case has been registered and some suspects have been detained for interrogation. Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Vishnu Deo Sai expressed his condolences and said that the victim will not be spared.
चंद्रकर 1 जनवरी से अपना घर के आसपास से लापता होने का उनके भाई की रिपोर्ट के आधार पर बीजापुर पुलिस द्वारा प्रकरण पंजीबद्ध करके उनके पता सजे हेतु एक विशेष टीम गठित करके छानबीन की जा रही थी। चट्टानपारा बस्ती में ठेकेदार सुरेश चंद्रकर के परिसर में उनकी डेड बॉडी मिलने को पुलिस के पास सूचना प्राप्त हुआ।
We are tracking the top business stories for the day. We bring you the latest updates on India's economic landscape, from fluctuations in GDP growth to significant developments in trade relations and foreign portfolio investments. Stay tuned as we delve into the key highlights shaping the business world today. The domestic electric two-wheeler market crossed the 1 million sales mark for the first time during last year. As per the data shared by Vahan portal, E2W sales went up by 33.47% at 11,48,544 units vis-a-vis 8,60,476 units sold in the same period last year. Sales were primarily driven by increasing consumer demand for sustainable mobility solutions, availability of affordable models, and significant advancements in battery technology. Ola Electric Mobility, which sold around 4,07,559 units, maintained its dominance with a significant market share of around 35%. Meanwhile, TVS Motor Company and Bajaj Auto made a huge jump in volumes in the latter half of the year, second and third in rank. Ather Energy attained the fourth spot, with sales up by 20% on a year-on-year basis. Quick commerce platform Blinkit on Thursday launched a 10-minute ambulance service in select areas of Gurugram as a pilot project. According to a company statement, users will now be able to see the option to call for an ambulance on the Blinkit app itself. Rolling out the Service, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal on Friday said quick commerce companies like Blinkit, who are launching 10-minute ambulance services, must make sure that the law of the land is met. The Employees Provident Fund Organization has successfully implemented its centralized pension payment system across all regional offices in India. A crucial development, and estimated of 78 lakh pensioners will benefit from it. Administered by the Ministry of Labour and Employment, the creation of a national-level consolidated system that permits pension payout through any bank or branch in India is being hailed as a significant change, which means that CPPS now guarantees pension payments across India without requiring the transfer of pension payment orders from one office to another, even when the pensioner relocates or switches banks or branches. Pensioners who retire and relocate to their hometown are expected to greatly benefit from this as well. India and Maldives have now finalized a framework to increase the use of local currencies amid Donald Trump's dollar push. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar asserted that India has always stood by the nation to promote cross-border trade between the two countries. Jaishankar made these remarks earlier at a meeting with Abdullah Khalil, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Maldives in Delhi. Khalil arrived in Delhi on Thursday for a 3-day visit with the objective to explore ways to bolster bilateral ties in several key areas such as maritime security, trade and investment. This decision has been taken by EAM Jaishankar as part of the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed between the RBI and the Maldives Monetary Authority earlier in November. A recent SBI research released on Friday has made some revelations indicative of a decline in rural poverty. As per data from the report, poverty has declined significantly to 4.86% in fiscal ending March 2024 from 25.7% in 2011-12. Mainly driven by government support programs, urban poverty is estimated to stand at 4.09%, down from 13.7% in 2011-2012. The sharp decline in rural poverty ratio is on account of higher consumption growth. However, the research report said that it is possible that these numbers could undergo minor revisions once the 2021 consensus is completed and the new rural-urban population share is published. Moving on to our international segment, where we're tracking the ground pulse of some of the biggest global headlines. Today, we dive into the significant developments from around the world, from diplomatic tensions in the Middle East to the latest developments in Washington. Stay tuned as we unravel the latest updates shaping the global landscape. Little Amal, which is a puppet symbolizing refugee children, were presented at the central train station in the Chilean capital, Santiago. Amal arrived in South America after traveling to more than 15 countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Germany. She carried a message of resilience and hope. The puppet arrived in Santiago as one of the main attractions of the Santiago International Theatre Festival. The 11.48 feet tall puppet, representing a 10-year-old Syrian girl, marches globally as a symbol of compassion and human rights. She highlights the plight of displaced children, especially those separated from families. This is the second time the puppet has visited Latin America, followed by its visit to Mexico last year, and the first time it landed in South America. 2 people died and 18 were injured Thursday when a small plane crashed through the roof of a furniture manufacturing building in Southern California, where at least 200 people were working. The identities of the people who died and whether they were in the plane or on the ground remains to be ascertained, as per a Fullerton police spokesperson. The plane had crashed less than 2 minutes after taking off from the Fullerton Municipal Airport in Orange County, located just 6 miles from Disneyland, according to the flight tracking website FlightAware.
The plane departed from runway 24 at Fullerton about 2 p.m. this afternoon, climbed straight ahead to about 900 feet, and a short time later the pilot called for an immediate return to the airport. The tower controller then cleared the pilot to land on any runway.
French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot and German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock met in Damascus on Friday with Ahmed al-Shara, the leader of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the Islam's former insurgent group that is now the de facto ruling party in Syria. The meeting was part of the first visit to Syria by top diplomats from European Union countries following the overthrow of President Bashar Assad by the opposition rebels. Since Assad's ouster in a lightning offensive led by the opposition forces, Damascus experienced a flurry of visits from Arab and Western countries that had cut off relations with Syria during the 14-year-long civil war.
Foreign Minister coming to Syria together in the name of the EU is a strong signal that a political new beginning is possible now, and that the European Union will do everything to help that the future will be a free one and a safe one for everybody.
The 119th Congress convened for the first time on Friday. Vice President Kamala Harris, who also serves President of the Senate, swore in incoming senators. Republicans hold the majority in the Senate after a sweeping victory in November's election.
All certificates, the chair is advised, are in the form suggested by the Senate or contain all the essential requirements of the form suggested by the Senate. If there be no objection, the reading of the certificates will be waived and they will be printed in full in the record. If the senators to be sworn will now present themselves at the desk in groups of 4.
Republican Mike Johnson won re-election to the House Speakership on a first ballot Friday, pushing past GOP hard right holdouts and buoyed with a nod of support from President-elect Donald Trump. A collection of hardline Republicans convened in the back of the House chamber during a tense roll call on the first day of the new Congress. The standoff sparked fresh turmoil, signaling trouble ahead under the unified GOP control of Washington. In the end, however, Johnson was able to flip 2 remaining holdouts who switched to support him, drawing applause from Republicans.
This election is not just about one person. It's about moving forward with the America First agenda. The mandate was given by the American people, by the electorate. President Trump got 77 million votes. The House Republicans got almost 75 million. It's a record number. They are expecting us to get to work, and we don't have time for drama. So my simple message to my colleagues is make suggestions about process improvements. We're open to that at all times, but I don't make deals with anyone. There's no quid pro quo here.
In a recent address, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, said that Israel's offensive in Gaza is deemable of being classified as war crime. He was referring to the attacks by Israeli forces in Gaza that has left many hospitals and medical facilities essentially non-functional due to the airstrikes. Turk said that all the attacks by Israel have been documented in a new report by his office as patterns of attacks. The report was presented to the Security Council. The report also concluded that attacks on such spots were absolutely intentional, which left the victims reduced as mere military objects. At least 136 strikes on 27 hospitals and 12 other medical facilities in Gaza have caused significant death and injury among medical staff so far.
A recent report by my office covering the period between 7 October 2023 and 30 June 2024 documents patterns of attacks on hospitals, starting with Israeli airstrikes, followed by raids by ground troops, the detention of some patients and staff, the forced removal of others, and the withdrawal of troops, leaving the hospital essentially non-functional.
Mexico reversed course on Friday and signaled it may accept non-Mexican migrants deported by the United States, offering limited cooperation with President-elect Donald Trump's planned deportation. President Claudia Sheinbaum voiced the government's reluctance to take in third country nationals. Speaking at her daily press briefing, Sheinbaum said Mexico could collaborate through different mechanisms in cases where the U.S. cannot return migrants directly to their home countries, though she provided no details about potential restrictions on nationalities or compensation from Washington. Street performers returned to Bourbon Street and the Sugar Bowl game went ahead Thursday. As New Orleans took cautious steps toward normalcy, 2 days after an Islamic State-inspired truck attack killed 14 people and injured 30 others in the French Quarter. As President Joe Biden announced the visit grieving city Monday, the FBI revealed that the attacker, 42-year-old Army veteran Shamsuddin Jabbar, had posted IS propaganda videos on Facebook before driving a rented pickup truck into New Year's revelers and dying in a shootout with the police.
It's sad. It was hard to walk down Bourbon Street today because you're thinking about the victims, especially, when I had friends that knew some of the victims. And a lot of the victims, every one of the victims had a life. They had things to look forward to.
All right, viewers, it's time to dive into the world of sports with our segment dedicated to all the action-packed highlights and exciting matchups. Keep listening to all the buzz right here on our sports segment. The Kho-Kho Federation of India unveiled the trophies for the first ever Kho-Kho World Cup. The event will take place from January 13 to 19. The tournament will feature 21 men's and 20 women's teams from 24 countries. A record-breaking 47,566 spectators packed the stands on day one of the 5th India-Australia Test, marking its highest ever opening day attendance for a test match between the two teams at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Australia cricket great Ricky Ponting feels the path for Rohit Sharma to play Test again will be a long and difficult one, after the regular Indian skipper opted to rest from the ongoing SCG Test. India wicket-keeper batter Rishabh Pant reflected on his defensive of 40 of 98 balls in the 5th Test against Australia on Friday and said he was not in the mindset to take charge of the game. Tracking the buzz, it's time to delve into the world of entertainment. Today we bring you the highlights from the world of cinema, Hollywood and Bollywood, and more as we unravel all the latest updates from entertainment industry this morning. Following a big win at Cannes last year, Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine Is Light has continued to leave an impression across the globe. The film has been nominated in 2 categories for the prestigious Golden Globes. Amid this good news, BAFTA Awards 2025 recently unveiled the long list for the nominations in 25 categories. And All We Imagine Is Light has also found its mention there. The film was not nominated in just 1 category but 3. Best Director, Original Screenplay and Best Film, not in the English language. Payal Kapadia's film has been gaining widespread recognition for showcasing a simple yet impacting story set at the heart of Mumbai. Rowan Atkinson, the renowned British actor and comedian celebrated for his memorable performance in Mr. Bean and Blackadder, will turn 70 on January 6th. Born on January 6, 1955 in Consett, England, Atkinson gained recognition in the late 1970s with his contributions to the BBC sketch comedy programme Not the 9 O'Clock News, before going on to find famous children's favourite in Mr. Bean. Atkinson's career spans across television, cinema and stage, with notable projects like the Johnny English film franchise adding to his legacy. Bollywood actor Kartik Aaryan has had a delightful year. The actor created records at the box office with the 3rd installment of Bhool Bhulaiya. The year has just begun and news of Aaryan being associated with various projects have been swarming in. According to reports, the actor is now gearing up to star in Anurag Basu's highly anticipated musical film. The shooting is likely to begin within this month as the creators aim to wrap up production by March. Allu Arjun's star Pushpa 2 has been busy creating history at the box office since its release. The movie has so far collected 1,799 crore rupees worldwide in 4 weeks. Now the audience is eagerly waiting for the action thriller to release on OTT. Earlier, the makers confirmed that the movie would not be available on OTT for at least 56 days. However, rumors arrived that it might premiere on Netflix by the end of January 2025. And that's a wrap for today's segment of Quick Morning. Don't go anywhere, viewers. We'll be right back tracking the top headlines and biggest stories from across the globe, only on Republic TV.